The sky burned red over New York as Admiral James Walker watched the live feed from his command center on the lunar base. Massive alien ships hung in the atmosphere like dark storm clouds, their weapons turning Earth's greatest cities to ash. His hands gripped the steel railing until his knuckles turned white, but his face remained calm. He had to stay strong for his crew. "Sir, London has gone dark." "Paris followed 5 minutes ago," reported Lieutenant Mills, her voice steady despite the tears in her eyes. "Tokyo is under heavy fire, and our forces there can't hold much longer." Walker nodded silently. They had known first contact would come eventually, but not like this. Not with fire and death raining from the skies. The Dominion Alliance had appeared 3 days ago, their massive fleet darkening the Earth's orbit. Their message had been simple: surrender or die. Humanity had refused. The lunar base shook as another blast hit its protective shields. Hidden beneath the moon's surface, the base remained Earth's last military command center. The aliens didn't know about it yet, and that was their biggest mistake. "Sir," called out Captain Rogers from his station, "Beijing just launched their last missiles. No effect on the enemy shields." He paused, swallowing hard. They're gone, sir." Walker closed his eyes for a moment. 8 billion people on Earth. How many were left now? The Dominion's attack had been precise and overwhelming. They targeted military installations first, then communications, power grids, and major cities. They wanted to break humanity's spirit quickly. But there was something the aliens didn't understand about humans, something crucial. "Get me Project Phoenix on the line," Walker ordered, his voice cutting through the somber atmosphere of the command center. The large screen flickered to life, showing Commander Kate Stone's face. She stood in what looked like an asteroid base, surrounded by sleek warships that no one on Earth knew existed. "Admiral," she said, her expression grim, "we're seeing everything. The Phoenix fleet is ready on your command." Walker allowed himself a small smile. For 15 years, they had prepared in secret. When they found the crashed alien scout ship in the Arctic, Earth's governments had done something unprecedented. They worked together. While the public saw space programs being shut down, humanity built its greatest fleet in secret asteroid bases. "Status of the shield breakers?" Walker asked. Dr. Reed completed the final calibrations an hour ago. "The reversed alien tech works better than we hoped. They won't know what hit them." The Admiral turned to look at the tactical display. The Dominion fleet was spread thin, confident in their superior technology. They had no reason to be cautious. After all, they thought Earth had no space fleet, no advanced weapons. Their arrogance would be their downfall. "Sir," Lieutenant Mills called out suddenly, "I'm picking up transmission from the Dominion fleet. They're broadcasting their victory across their empire." Walker's eyes narrowed. "Put it on screen." The alien transmission showed Earth's burning cities. A deep voice spoke in translated English. "Let this be a lesson to all who would resist the Dominion. Even the most spirited species must learn their place in the galaxy." The command center fell silent. Walker looked at each of his officers' faces, seeing the same mix of anger and determination he felt. Humanity had lost much today, but they weren't finished. Not by a long shot. "Commander Stone," Walker said, turning back to the screen, "begin Operation Rising Phoenix. Hit their supply lines first. Show them what happens when they underestimate humanity." "With pleasure, sir," Stone replied, a fierce grin on her face. As the screen went dark, Walker addressed his command center. "Today, they think they've won. They believe they've seen humanity at its weakest, but they don't understand what happens when humans are backed into a corner. We don't give up. We don't surrender. We adapt, we overcome, and we win." He looked once more at the burning Earth on the main screen. "They wanted to break our spirit. Instead, they've united us like never before. And soon, very soon, they'll learn why that was their biggest mistake." The lunar base rumbled again with another impact, but this time no one flinched. In the asteroid belt, the Phoenix fleet powered up their engines. The real war was about to begin, and humanity was ready to show the galaxy why you should never, ever underestimate the human spirit. Deep within the asteroid belt, Commander Kate Stone walked through the massive hidden hangar of Asteroid Base Alpha. The space around her buzzed with activity as crews prepared the Phoenix fleet for battle. Overhead, massive warships hung in their docking clamps, their black hulls absorbing the light from the hangar's powerful lamps. "Commander," Dr. Reed jogged up to her, holding a tablet. "The final tests on the quantum weapons are complete. The results are better than we hoped." His eyes sparkled with excitement despite not sleeping for 2 days. Stone nodded as they walked past the largest ship in the fleet, the Phoenix Prime. Its hull bore no markings, no flags, nothing to show it was made by human hands. That was part of the plan. "How long until all ships are ready?" she asked, watching teams of engineers making final adjustments to the ship's engines. 6 hours at most. The crews have been training for this moment for years. They know every bolt and wire of these ships like they know their own hands. Stone stopped at a viewport, looking out at the asteroid field that had hidden humanity's secret fleet for so long. 15 years of preparation, all leading to this moment. While Earth built regular satellites and space stations in plain sight, the real work happened here, far from prying eyes. The base shook slightly as another ship powered up its engines for testing. In the distance, more asteroids housed similar bases, each hiding their own portion of humanity's revenge fleet. The Dominion thought they had crushed Earth's forces completely. They had no idea what was coming. "Report from Admiral Walker," called out Captain Harris from the command center entrance. Stone and Reed hurried over. The screen showed the lunar base's feed, where Walker's face looked grimmer than ever. "The Dominion forces are starting to spread out," Walker said. "They're setting up permanent bases on Earth, getting comfortable." His lips twisted in a cold smile. "Perfect timing for us to remind them why that's a bad idea." Stone studied the tactical display showing enemy positions. The Dominion had split their forces, focusing on controlling major population centers. Their supply ships moved between Earth and their staging area near Mars, following predictable routes. They felt so safe they didn't even bother with escort ships anymore. "Time to show them their first mistake," Stone said. She turned to her crew. "Begin launch sequence for Strike Group 1. Target their supply lines near Mars. No survivors, no witnesses." The base erupted into controlled chaos as crews rushed to their ships. Stone watched as pilots and engineers moved with purpose, their faces set with determination. These weren't regular soldiers. They were humanity's best, chosen and trained in secret for exactly this mission. Dr. Reed worked at his console, uploading the final weapons data to the strike group. "The quantum disruptors will bypass their shields completely," he explained. "They based all their defenses on their own technology. They never imagined we could develop something so different." Stone smiled at that. The aliens thought humans were primitive because they didn't use the same technology as the rest of the galaxy. They didn't understand that different didn't mean worse. The first ships began disconnecting from their docking clamps. Their engines glowed with a deep blue light, another human innovation the Dominion hadn't seen before. Stone walked to the command center's main window, watching as 12 ships moved into formation. "Strike Group 1, you are cleared for launch," she announced over the comm. "Remember your training. Remember Earth. Show no mercy." The ships accelerated smoothly, disappearing into the asteroid field. Thanks to their shadow drive technology, they were practically invisible to sensors. The Dominion's supply ships wouldn't know what hit them. "Now we wait," Stone said, turning to her crew. "When those supply ships disappear, the Dominion will send search parties. They'll find nothing. And while they're confused, Strike Group 2 will hit their next target." She looked at the tactical display again, where more dots showed the positions of other Dominion supply convoys. Like a line of dominoes waiting to fall, each target would bring humanity one step closer to revenge. "They thought they could break us," Stone said softly. Instead, they forced us to become stronger than ever. And now they're going to learn what happens when you push humanity too far. In the distance, Strike Group 1 vanished into the darkness of space, carrying humanity's fury with them. The real war was about to begin. The first Dominion supply ship never saw the attack coming. One moment, it was cruising through space near Mars, its crew relaxed and confident. The next moment, strange blue beams cut through its shields like they weren't even there. The ship exploded in a brilliant flash, leaving nothing but debris floating in the cold void. Lieutenant Jack Roberts sat in his pilot's seat aboard the Phoenix-class ship, Night Strike, a grim smile on his face as he watched the explosion through his viewscreen. First target eliminated, he reported. No distress signal sent. Commander Stone's voice came through the secure channel from Asteroid Base Alpha. Excellent work, Strike Group 1. Proceed to secondary targets. Keep radio silence, unless absolutely necessary. The 12 ships of Strike Group 1 moved like ghosts through space, their shadow drives making them invisible to Dominion sensors. 2 more supply ships vanished in quick succession, their crews never even knowing they were under attack. Back at the Dominion command ship orbiting Earth, alarms began to sound. Admiral High Commander Dex of the Dominion fleet stared at his tactical display in confusion as supply ships started disappearing. Impossible, he growled, his alien features twisting in anger. The humans have no ships left. We destroyed their entire fleet. His subordinates scrambled to explain the disappearances, but they had no answers. Their sensors showed nothing. The ships were simply vanishing without warning, without even sending distress calls. Meanwhile, deep in the asteroid belt, Dr. Reed worked frantically at his console as data streamed in from the attacking ships. The quantum disruptors are working perfectly, he reported to Commander Stone. Their shields might as well be paper. Stone nodded, watching the tactical display as more Dominion supply ships vanished from their sensors. Launch Strike Group 2, she ordered. Hit their fuel depot near Jupiter. Let's see how their mighty fleet functions without supplies. 20 more ships detached from their hiding places in the asteroid belt, their engines glowing that distinctive blue as they moved towards their targets. The Dominion was about to learn another painful lesson about human ingenuity. On the lunar base, Admiral Walker received the reports with satisfaction. Send word to our ground forces, he told Lieutenant Mills. Tell them to be ready. When the Dominion ships run low on supplies, they'll have to land for emergency repairs. That's when we strike from the surface. The hidden resistance fighters on Earth got the message and began preparing their weapons. They had been waiting for this moment, gathering their strength while the Dominion thought they were beaten. Back in space, Strike Group 1 encountered their first real challenge. A Dominion patrol ship stumbled across the debris field from their attacks. Before it could raise the alarm, 3 Phoenix ships decloaked around it. Remember, Roberts told his squadron, no survivors, no witnesses. Not yet. The patrol ship's shields flared uselessly against the quantum disruptors. In seconds, it joined the debris field, its crew taking the secret of humanity's survival to their graves. At the Jupiter fuel depot, Strike Group 2 arrived to find heavier defenses. 6 Dominion warships guarded the massive fuel tanks. Captain Lisa Turner, leading the Strike Group, just smiled. They're finally giving us a real fight, she said to her crew. Show them what these ships can do. The battle that followed would have been impressive to watch if anyone had been able to see it. The Phoenix ships appeared and disappeared like deadly shadows, their quantum weapons cutting through Dominion defenses while their own advanced shields shrugged off return fire. In less than 10 minutes, the fuel depot and its defenders were reduced to floating debris. Strike Group 2 vanished back into the darkness of space, leaving no evidence of who had attacked. The news reached the Dominion command ship like a series of hammer blows. Supply ships destroyed, patrols missing, fuel depot annihilated. The mighty Dominion fleet, which had so easily conquered Earth, was suddenly finding itself cut off and vulnerable. Find them. High Commander Dex roared at his subordinates. Find whoever is doing this. But they couldn't find what their sensors couldn't see. And as more ships and supplies disappeared, a terrible realization began to dawn on the Dominion forces. They hadn't broken humanity's spirit at all. They had only made it stronger, deadlier, and more determined. The real war had begun, and humanity was winning. Lieutenant Anna Mills sat at her console in the lunar base, her fingers flying over the keyboard as she put the final touches on Operation Ghost. Around her, a team of computer experts worked silently, their faces lit by screen glow. They had captured enough Dominion communication devices to do something incredibly dangerous and clever. "The virus is ready, sir," she reported to Admiral Walker, who stood watching the main screen. "Once we upload it to their network, it will plant our fake messages in their most secure channels. They'll never know they're being played." Walker nodded, his eyes fixed on the tactical display showing the Dominion fleet's current positions. Their ships were now moving in tight formations, scared of the invisible enemy that kept destroying their supply lines. "Perfect. Send the first message," he ordered. "Make them think the Krell are plotting against the Meridians." Mills pressed a button, and the first part of humanity's greatest deception began. Deep in the Dominion's secure networks, carefully crafted messages appeared, seemingly sent between high-ranking Krell officers. The messages spoke of secret plans, of taking control once humanity was defeated, of betraying their Meridian allies. On the Dominion command ship, High Commander Dex received an urgent message from his Krell subordinate. "Sir, we intercepted disturbing communications from the Meridian fleet. They're positioning their ships behind our main battle groups." Dex checked his tactical display. Indeed, the Meridian ships had slowly been moving into positions that could be seen as threatening. He hadn't noticed it before, but now. Back at the lunar base, Dr. Reed arrived with more good news. "The adapted shield technology is ready," he announced. "We can now use their own defense systems against them. Every shot they fire at us will make our shields stronger." Walker allowed himself a small smile. "Lieutenant Mills, send the second wave of messages. Let's add some fuel to the fire." New messages appeared in the Dominion networks. This time, they seemed to show Meridian commanders discussing plans to seize control of Earth once the humans were defeated. The messages mentioned secret deals, betrayals, and hidden weapons. The effect was immediate. On dozens of Dominion ships, aliens of different species began watching each other with suspicion. The Krell, proud and ancient warriors, were especially affected by the apparent betrayal. "They're starting to question each other," Mills reported, watching the increased chatter on Dominion channels. "The Krell battle groups are changing formations, moving away from their Meridian allies." Commander Stone's face appeared on a secure channel. "Admiral, strike groups 3 and 4 are in position. The moment their fleet starts to break up, we hit them from all sides." Walker checked the time. Everything was happening exactly as planned. The Dominion's greatest strength, their alliance of advanced species, was becoming their greatest weakness. More fake messages flooded the Dominion networks. Each one was carefully crafted to look legitimate, playing on ancient rivalries and fears. The Krell were proud warriors who never forgot a betrayal. The Meridians were known for their cunning. Other species in the alliance had their own reasons to distrust each other. "Sir," Mills called out suddenly, "the Krell flagship is powering up weapons. They're targeting a Meridian cruiser." The command center watched in tense silence as the mighty Dominion fleet began to tear itself apart. Ships that had fought together to conquer Earth now turned their guns on each other. "Now," Walker ordered quietly, "launch Operation Ghost's final phase." All across the solar system, hidden transmitters activated. They'd broadcast fake distress calls, false sensor readings, and phantom ship signatures. To the already paranoid Dominion fleet, it seemed like enemies were everywhere. From their hidden bases, the Phoenix fleet watched and waited. The Dominion ships were too busy watching each other to notice the real threat gathering around them. Humanity never needed to destroy their whole fleet, Walker said to his crew. We just needed to remind them why their species never trusted each other in the first place. Their own fears will do the rest. As if to prove his words, the first shots were fired between former allies. The Dominion fleet, the mightiest military force in the galaxy, was about to learn another lesson about humanity. Sometimes, the cleverer opponent doesn't need to fight at all. The Krell battleship Empire's Fist erupted in a ball of fire as Meridian weapons tore through its shields. Around it, space filled with energy beams and explosions as the Dominion fleet tore itself apart. Centuries of alliance were crumbling in minutes, just as humanity had planned. High Commander Dex watched in horror from his command ship as his mighty fleet descended into chaos. Stand down, he roared over all channels. This is your commander. Cease fire immediately. But no one was listening anymore. The fake messages planted by Lieutenant Mills and her team had done their work too well. Every species in the Dominion now believed the others were plotting against them. Krell ships are moving to attack positions, reported a nervous officer on Dex's bridge. They're saying we knew about the Meridian betrayal. They're saying we were part of it. Before Dex could respond, alarms blared across his ship. The sensors showed new contacts appearing everywhere, phantom signals created by humanity's transmitters. To his crew, it looked like hundreds of unknown ships were surrounding them. Deep in the asteroid belt, Commander Stone watched the chaos with grim satisfaction. All strike groups, prepare for final attack phase, she ordered. The moment their fleet breaks completely, we hit them with everything we have. The Phoenix fleet's crews rushed to their ships, ready for the killing blow. They had watched and waited as Operation Ghost turned their enemies against each other. Now it was time to finish what the Dominion had started when they attacked Earth. On the lunar base, Admiral Walker and Lieutenant Mills monitored the disintegrating Dominion fleet. Send the last message, Walker ordered. Mills nodded and transmitted the final piece of their deception. Fake orders from the Dominion's homeworld that seemed to confirm everyone's worst fears. The effect was devastating. The Krell, already convinced of betrayal, launched an all-out attack on the Meridian ships. Other species chose sides or tried to flee, turning the organized fleet into a massive space battle. Sir, Dr. Reed called from his station. Our ground forces report the Dominion troops on Earth are fighting each other too. The fake messages reached their ground commanders. Walker allowed himself a moment of pride. Humanity had taken the Dominion's greatest strength, their unity, and turned it into a weakness. Now, they would never see the real attack coming. Remarkable, said a voice behind them. Everyone turned to see Professor Alan White, the scientist who had first studied the crashed alien ship 15 years ago. They thought their technology made them superior. They never considered that humans might understand something they didn't: the power of doubt and fear. Multiple Dominion ships breaking formation, Mills reported, her eyes on the tactical display. The Krell battle groups are moving to attack the Meridian homeworld. The Meridians are calling for reinforcements from Earth. That was the signal they had been waiting for. Walker pressed a button on his command console, opening a channel to all Phoenix fleet ships. Operation Ghost is complete, he announced. Commander Stone, you have permission to begin the final attack. Show them what humanity can really do. Throughout the solar system, hidden ship after hidden ship powered up their engines. The Phoenix fleet emerged from the asteroid belt, from behind moons, from clouds of space debris. Their black hulls absorbed the light from nearby stars, making them look like moving pieces of the void. The Dominion ships, scattered and divided, never stood a chance. Human quantum weapons cut through their disorganized formations. Ships that tried to flee were caught by the Phoenix fleet's superior speed. Those that tried to fight found their weapons useless against the adapted shield technology. On his command ship, High Commander Dex finally understood. The humans, he whispered, watching his mighty fleet die. They did this. They turned us against each other. The realization came too late. The Phoenix fleet struck from all directions, their attacks coordinated and precise. In the space around Earth, Humanity's revenge began in earnest. The Dominion Alliance, which had stood strong for centuries, which had conquered countless worlds, was falling apart. And in its death throes, it learned one final lesson. Never underestimate humanity's ability to find and exploit their enemy's greatest weakness. Commander Kate Stone stood on the bridge of Phoenix Prime, watching Earth grow larger in the main view screen. After weeks of battles across the solar system, the time had come to take back their home. Behind her massive ship, the entire Phoenix fleet moved in perfect formation, their black hulls reflecting the distant sunlight. "All ships report ready," Captain Harris announced from his station. "Strike groups 1 through 7 are in position. Ground forces await your signal." Stone nodded, her eyes fixed on the Dominion command station floating in Earth's orbit. The massive structure had once been the symbol of humanity's defeat. Now it would become the symbol of their victory. "Dr. Reed's new shield frequency is loaded into all ships," reported her technical officer. "The moment they fire on us, their own weapons will make us stronger." Stone opened a channel to all Phoenix ships. "This is Commander Stone. Today we take back our home. Today we show the galaxy that humanity will never bow to tyrants. All ships, battle formation Delta. Begin the attack." The Phoenix fleet split into precise groups, each targeting different sections of the Dominion's orbital defenses. The remaining enemy ships, their crews still suspicious of each other after Operation Ghost, struggled to organize a defense. On the lunar base, Admiral Walker watched the battle unfold. "Launch our ground teams," he ordered. "While they're busy with the fleet, we'll hit them from below." All across Earth's surface, hidden resistance fighters emerged from their bases. They struck at Dominion ground forces who were already fighting among themselves, confused by the false orders and paranoia spread by Operation Ghost. The Phoenix Prime led the charge toward the command station, its advanced weapons cutting through what remained of the Dominion's once mighty fleet. Enemy ships fired desperately, but their weapons only strengthened the humans' adapted shields. "Their main shield generator is still operational," Stone noted, studying the tactical display. "Time to use our secret weapon. Launch the infiltration pods." Small black pods shot out from the Phoenix ships, too small for the Dominion sensors to track effectively. Inside each pod, elite human troops prepared for boarding action. As the pods struck the command station's hull, they burned through using technology reversed engineered from the very aliens they now fought. High Commander Dex felt his station shake as explosions rocked through the corridors. "How?" he demanded of his terrified crew. "How did they do this?" They were primitives. The answer came in the form of human soldiers breaking onto his bridge, their weapons powered by the same quantum technology that had devastated his fleet. Behind them walked Dr. Reed, his face showing not anger, but disappointment. "We were never primitives," Reed said calmly. "We just saw a different way to do things. Your greatest mistake was thinking that different meant inferior." Outside, the battle reached its peak. The Phoenix fleet had surrounded the command station, their black ships forming a sphere of human vengeance. The remaining Dominion ships, seeing their command center fallen, began to retreat in disorder. "Enemy ships are jumping out of the system," reported Captain Harris. "Ground forces report Dominion troops are surrendering across Earth's surface." Stone allowed herself a small smile. "Send word to Admiral Walker. Earth's orbit is secured. Operation Rising Phoenix is complete." On the captured command station's bridge, Dr. Reed worked quickly to access the Dominion's main computer. "We have control of their entire network," he announced over the comm, sending shutdown codes to all their remaining defense systems. All across Earth, Dominion weapons and shields powered down. Their mighty technology, turned against them by human ingenuity, fell silent. In the cities below, people emerged from hiding to see the black ships of humanity's fleet hovering protectively in the sky. Admiral Walker's voice came over all channels, broadcasting to both human and alien ears. "To all Dominion forces, your command center has fallen. Your fleet is defeated. Surrender immediately, and you will be treated fairly. Resist, and you will learn just how much more humanity can do. Commander Stone looked out at Earth, seeing the sun rise over its scared but undefeated surface. They had done it. Through cleverness, determination, and the unique human ability to turn weakness into strength, they had overcome the greatest power in the galaxy. The mighty Dominion had failed to learn the most important lesson in the universe: never underestimate humanity's potential. Now, as their empire crumbled, that lesson would echo across the stars. 1 month after the battle for Earth, Admiral Walker stood in the rebuilt United Nations building in New York. Through the massive windows, he could see Phoenix Fleet ships patrolling the sky, their black hulls now a symbol of protection rather than vengeance. Below them, reconstruction crews worked to rebuild the city. The last Dominion stronghold surrendered this morning, Lieutenant Mills reported, standing beside him. Australia is fully liberated. Earth is completely under human control again. Walker nodded, watching as a group of Krell warriors were escorted into the building. Once proud conquerors, they now came as representatives of their people, ready to discuss peace terms. Behind them walked delegates from the Meridians and other former Dominion species. Commander Stone entered the room, her uniform crisp and formal. "The Phoenix Fleet is in position around the solar system," she reported. "Any ships approaching Earth will be detected long before they reach us. We're safe." The alien delegates took their seats at the large conference table. High Commander Dex, now a prisoner of war, was brought in last. His once proud bearing was gone, replaced by the look of someone who had learned a hard lesson. "You could destroy us all," Dex said quietly to Walker. "Your fleet now controls our worlds. Your weapons can bypass our best defenses. Why offer peace?" Walker smiled slightly. "Because that's another thing you never understood about humans. We can be ruthless when we must fight, but we prefer to make friends when we can." Dr. Reed walked in, carrying data tablets containing the peace terms. "We've studied your technology thoroughly now," he told the aliens. "But we're more interested in sharing knowledge than hoarding it. Humanity wants partners, not servants." The peace conference began, with representatives from all species discussing the future. The terms were firm but fair. The Dominion would be disbanded, but each species would remain free to govern themselves. Earth would lead a new coalition, one built on mutual respect and cooperation rather than conquest. "We've already begun adapting our quantum shield technology to protect colony worlds from natural disasters," Reed explained to the amazed delegates. "And our shadow drive technology could revolutionize peaceful space exploration." In orbit, Professor White worked with alien scientists aboard the captured command station, showing them how humans had improved upon their technology. The aliens were stunned to learn that many human innovations were simpler, yet more effective than their complex systems. "Your people think differently than any species we've encountered," a Meridian scientist admitted. "You find solutions we would never imagine." Back in New York, Lieutenant Mills showed the delegates data from Operation Ghost. "We never needed to destroy your fleet," she explained. "We just helped you see the flaws in your alliance. A real partnership needs trust and respect, not fear and power." The aliens watched in silence as she played back their own transmissions, showing how easily their mighty alliance had fallen to clever human strategy. Many looked uncomfortable, but others showed signs of understanding and even admiration. "Earth will help rebuild the worlds damaged in this war," Walker announced to the assembly. "In return, we ask only for peace and honest cooperation. The galaxy is too big for any one species to rule it all." Stone added, "The Phoenix Fleet will become a peacekeeping force, protecting all member worlds of our new coalition. Human innovation combined with alien knowledge can create something greater than either of us had alone." As the day ended, the peace treaty was signed. The mighty Dominion, which had fought to crush humanity, instead found itself transformed into something better. The species that had once fought each other now looked toward a future of cooperation and mutual growth. Walker stood at the window again, watching the sun set over the recovering city. The Phoenix ships above cast long shadows on the ground. reminding everyone of humanity's power. But now those ships would protect rather than destroy, guide rather than conquer. "We did more than win a war," he said to his officers. "We changed the galaxy, not through superior force, but through clever thinking and the willingness to offer peace even to our enemies." As night fell over Earth, lights began to shine in the rebuilt cities. In orbit, human and alien ships patrolled together, their crews learning from each other. The galaxy was entering a new age, one shaped by humanity's unique combination of innovation, determination, and wisdom. The story of Earth's victory would be told across the stars for generations to come, not just as a tale of vengeance, but as proof that sometimes the cleverer path is to turn enemies into friends and to build something greater from the ashes of war.